If you want to be a pole vaulter, the first thing you're going to have to learn how to do is hold this thing. And in this video, that's what I'm going to show you how to do. In this video, I'll be showing you the first step in learning the vault, and that is how to hold the pole. Holding the pole correctly can be broken up into 4 elements: grip placement, grip width, grip height, and pole bend. Whether you're a beginner athlete in the pole vault or whether you're a coach trying to help some of your athletes, the first thing you need to know about getting started in the pole vault is how to carry the pole and how to hold the pole correctly. Now, how I'm holding the pole currently vertically along my side is typically how you're going to want to carry the pole around practice or at a meet. That way, as you're turning around and moving, you're not hitting people or people aren't tripping over your pole. So, pole, unless you're vaulting, should always be like this. You carry it to the runway, and once you want to get started at holding a pole, to your side like this. And typically when I'm starting somebody off for the first time, I'll just say, go ahead and hold the pole with both hands, with your hand near this end with the tape. And I do that just to see, maybe they get it right off the bat. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if you're a right-handed vaulter, like I am, you take your right hand, which we also call your top hand, and you place it on the pole, under the pole like this, with the palms up. Then you take your left hand, which we call the bottom hand, and put it with your palm down like this. So that's how you grip the pole to get started, okay? Now, next I want to talk about pole height. Now, at this point in the game, the height is not that important, but as soon as you start jumping off the ground, the height becomes very important. So I always go over that with athletes right away. Height is always based on your top hand, okay? On this pole, you can't see now, but I have it marked every 3 inches. And I always measure it so that right now, this is 11/6 pole. The top of my hand is at this mark, which is 11 feet, just like this. So if I told the athlete I want a 10/6, 10/6 mark is here. My hand is just below it, so they can still read it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a 11-foot grip. This, and that's how you give the grip. So you have athletes practice that a few times just to make sure you are on the same page with them. Next comes grip width. Grip width is always based on the bottom hand, okay? So once you've determined the height, that's determined by the right hand. The width is determined by the left hand. Okay, so when you're telling an athlete to change your grip, you don't want to see him moving this hand. You want to see him moving this hand, okay? Now I find it works best to just have like a shoulder width grip. So 11, hold the pole to the side. You can see it's about shoulder width. A couple other ways to do that is you can also bring the pole up to here, and then I usually go a forearm plus 1 grip, like this. Or some people like to be like this, take your hand, reach down a comfortable length like this, okay? But they all end up resulting in about a shoulder width grip. Now once you get your grip height and your grip width, the next thing you're going to want to know is how to get the bend of the pole. There's actually a natural bend to the pole. You can see if I rotate it up, wiggle it a little bit, it rotates down like that. Okay, so got my grip height, grip width. Usually what I'll do to get the bend is just wiggle it a little bit. Natural sag will go down. And that's how you hold the pole to get started. Now, I recommend athletes practice that a few times, but it does take some practice before you want to move on to the next step. The reason why is what I just went over is fairly simple, and it's fairly easy to grasp in your mind to begin with, but you don't have the muscle memory set up, okay? And as we add step after step, if you don't have things locked in your muscle memory, you're going to get a little lost. So you want to practice that several times, get it so athletes can do it without thinking about it, then you can move on to the next step. Here Libby will be demonstrating the process that she goes through to determine her grip placement, grip width, grip height, and pull bend. Okay, she'll now reset to show you again. And here Claire will demonstrate the same thing just from the perspective of a left-handed vaulter. Again, she's now going to reset to show you again. This video has been a production of the Shiawassee Vault Club, and we really hope you liked it. See you in the next one, and until then, have fun, be confident, and vault high.